Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you, and welcome you all to another session of the webinar series organized by Lanka Consulting Group. Before moving on to today's session, let me give you a brief on Lanka Consulting Group. Lanka Consulting Group is an online platform developed to address the consultancy needs of different sectors of the Sri Lankan economy. And the users of LCG could be both organizations as well as individuals, and they can visit LCG website to find experts from different industries and fields to match their business needs. LCG works with the intention to address business challenges, particularly as the small and medium enterprises and entrepreneurs of Sri Lanka face. And some of the fields of expertise covered by LCG are business and finance, marketing and sales, HR, manufacturing and process industries, technology, tax, and startup mentoring. And if I just run you through the very simple process at LCG, so you could be an owner of an established business, or you could either be an individual with a startup. And you could be having different problems, difficulties once you are running your business, and like say labor matters, tax matters, it could be financing. So whatever the problem, business related problem that you are having, you can simply visit our website at www.lankaconsultancygroup.com and select the relevant category or relevant field and select the relevant consultant based on your need. And finally, you can attend to an online consulting session with that selected consultant. So with that, let's move on to today's today's webinar session. And before starting off, let me tell you that this particular webinar series will be simultaneously broadcasted through Facebook as well. So those who are not able to join us through Zoom, you can log on to Facebook and go to our Facebook page, Lanka Consultancy Group, and then join us through Facebook as well. So let me introduce our resource person today, Mr. Nilanga Wickramasinghe. Mr. Nilanga, with 20 years of management exposure in a career span of over 3 decades, possesses a wealth of knowledge in strategic business management, sales and distribution management, training and development, and service marketing in diverse industries, with a clean record of spearheading innovation to drive productivity and growth in the bottom line. He's a director at Growth Management SDG, a company that engages in individuals, SMEs, and corporates to collaborate professionally for result orientation. Mr. Nilanga was also the director, CEO at LOLC Insurance International, and initiated the development of implementation of the international insurance strategy for the company. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that brief description, let's warmly welcome Mr. Nilanga. Mr. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Anjana. Thank you for that introduction, and also thank you LCG for inviting me to share my views of today's topic, which is the challenge through agility. Thank you, Mr. Rohan Senanayake, for his spearheading this consultancy hub, which was a need for SMEs specifically in Sri Lanka. Today, what we are going to discuss is about a challenge, but it's not about the challenge specifically or really, it's about challenging the challenge. How do we do it? It's through the agility that we possess within our businesses. So the topic, the challenge through agility. Those of you are in the SMEs, you're a business leader, either you have moved the business, you run the business as the CEO or the general manager, or you're a department head, or you are the chairperson, you have your team running the business. Having said that, you know it best at the moment. You know how to run your business. You are doing your business in the best and the most appropriate manner, and you have been successful. So you created it, implemented, or you executed the business. You may have been the brainchild behind this. You may have been the visionary behind this. You may have been the creator. You would have got involved in implementing or execution and running the business. So thereby, you are aware of it inside out. I'm just going through what it is all about. So you know it best once again. and that you have experienced how the business started as a tiny startup and grew over the time, and grew over time in the sense with a lot of hard efforts, commitments, sacrifices, all that has enabled you build the business. So you have seen the best times, hard times, and the tough times. And all of us in Sri Lanka and world over have survived certain amount, suffered in the hands of certain scenarios that are beyond our control. But all that has given us what's called experience and also the exposure. So thereby, right now, you would have your plan carved out as to how you're going to take it forward. So you know the best way forward. But any business leader, any visionary, any chairperson, any conglomerate leader, any general manager would at times need what's called reinforcement. When the businesses are going well, you still need reinforcement. When it's facing tough times, you definitely need reinforcement. You need some support. Why I would like to call it that you know it best is that when you know it best, it's very easy for somebody else to come and give you the kind of support that you may have missed out on a person. So therefore, this effort through this platform is to invite you to engage in what's called the business process. Let's look at these two phenomena, proactive versus reactive. The definition of proactive is creating or controlling a situation rather than responding to it after it has happened. Reactive, acting in response to a situation rather than creating or controlling. So reactive necessarily means it's firefighting. It's about happening. What's happening is just there and you're about to respond to it after it has totally taken. You are not in control. So thereby, that's not the way that we would like to look at. Being proactive is creating the result that you want to see. You are going to create the end result that you want to. So once when you know what exactly is required in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, you will create and line up the activities that are pertinent to get to that end result. So being proactive is purely about controlling what you can control around you. Even being proactive, you still have situations like what we have been facing over the couple of years that are beyond our control. But what is in your capacity is in your capacity. How do you run the business having said all that? Usually when you're a SME or you are a corporate that which you have moved, your brains is the best brains in the business? Well, that's one question. Definitely since you're the best brains, you have brought about it. But essentially you need to keep building best brains around you. So you are the visionary, but you will create an ambience for good brainy professionals to come in and rally around you. So your brains put together with them, your vision put together with them, your know-how put together with them, you don't only become the best brains. Even though you are, you will see that others too are contributing equally well. Then going into the point number 2, your brains is the only brains to create strategy, a business strategy. Well, originally you may have been the strategist, but right now it's different. If you have built your business up to a certain level, you have people around you. They create strategy for you because they know your vision, you have shared it. In a business, do you run transparency? Do you create a situation of transparency? Your environment is transparent. If your people know why, what, when, where, who, in the sense, the existence of the business. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing these series of activities? Why are we doing that? Why are we marketing it this way? Why are we marketing it in this manner? Why are we doing the production line on this basis? Why is our sourcing done that way, this way? All that gives everybody the transparency. And also, if you look at around the people around you, if you allow a situation where they could question, they could query when they are not clear, as we said, the strategy is there, it's being rolled out, it's being seen, and you have people who are looking at it all the time, your implementers, your managers, all that. But the fact remains, when it's transparent, it also must enable people to question when it is the case. So therefore, you have to train your people and facilitate the environment for people to query when it is not clear. The organization's vision and mission and the success, specifically success, hence it's in bold. Everyone owns it. You may have been the brainchild, you may have had the concept, all that's fine. But the vision, the mission, and the success of the organization, everyone owns it. When we are going through businesses, there are also things that we need to get. We need to get at what's called creating a strategy. To create a strategy, you need to do what's called business mapping. When you want to do business mapping, eventually you will get into visualizing a business concept. That's you or your founder or whoever it is. Visualizing the potential is the most important thing when somebody needs to get at a strategy. Once when you visualize, keep thinking, you tend to understand what's there. Once when you understand it, you get down to studying it through various ways and means, by learning it through all the data that is available to us throughout, and from the people who have been successful, looking at the role models, looking at the good companies, best practices of the industry, you keep studying. Once when you have visualized, understood, and started studying about the potential, you have data, you have information, you have all that. Then you are able to analyze it. Proper analysis allows you to create the best fit, the best strategy, the best action plan. This is what is important. Once when you have visualized, understood, studied, and analyzed it properly, you begin to realize the potential. Once when you realize the potential, the rest is history. The moment you realize the history, because you are in the driving seat, you really want to get at doing the action plan. Then you go ahead and create the strategy. Isn't that right? What's the business strategy that you want to run? A strategy that drives your business to where you want to. Remember, it's being proactive, and that best fits your business into the current context and to the future scenario. So a strategy that drives and best fits your business is what you essentially need to have. Having said that, no organization plans for downs, or basically nobody wants to plan for degrowth. It's all about growth, but be prepared. If you check what happened last year, if you check what happened this year, it was eventual that everybody had to suffer in the hands of the nature, in the hands of the evil, all that. So be prepared just to check whether you can survive the tough times. Can it be going through the worst times without being out of business, without being driven out of business? Because if you're driving the business, you are driving. If you are not driving, you will be driven out. This is a phrase that we have seen. So therefore, be prepared to survive the tough times. Analyze the worst case scenarios through simulation. It's always good when the business is going very well. You need to simulate situations of better times and of also the bad times, the worst times, and create your business strategy in a situation where the business concept is running on a lean basis. Your organization is lean. Your organization is very much a learning organization. When it is lean and when the organization's culture is about learning, it's very important that you manage your costs. You have a lean organization, you have a learning organization, and then you have your cost management structure. That's the most prudent thing, specifically for people who are in the SMEs. Bigger corporates have gone into debts and they're running larger sums of somebody else's money. The public money from the banks is basically public. So you need to know what is essential for your business. Once when your cost management is right, you are able to be very competitive because you are managing your cost structure, you are competitive. If you're competitive, you are able to survive in any challenge situation. And if your survival is good, your business's sustainability is somewhat assured. Today, nothing is that much assured. But if you're competitive and your survival is quite there, you are able to sustain. If you're able to sustain your business, you could continuously and consistently look at running into growth. That's the most important part of it. So therefore, what is important to us is to have a strategy with your own company that is a driving force, and that's the best fit. You can't take somebody else's strategy, just adopt it straight away. But even if you adopt somebody's strategy, you need to ensure that your strategy is going into the right arena. That's customized to fit yours. And that you're prepared to go through tough times. You're simulating the worst case scenarios. Your organization is lean and your organization has a learning culture and your organization manages the cost in the most prudent manner. Look at this. Old ways won't open new doors. This is a lovely saying. I saw it somewhere. In fact, a friend shared with me, and it says, always won't open new doors. Doing the same thing repeatedly, but expecting different results is defined as insanity. Who said that? Albert Einstein. So, who wants to be called insane? Who wants to run into insanity? So if you do not want to do the same thing over and over again and to be called insanity by expecting a different result, what do? You again go open the doors. You open the doors. The doors won't open for you automatically. Thereby, you're creating a culture which has a continuous business process re-engineering scenario. You may have not commissioned BPR projects. You may have not commissioned any project called it's a business process re-engineering process, but your organization is definitely going there. You know, over the last few months, some of the Sri Lankan companies thrived in this situation of the lockdowns. How did they thrive? They had the agility around them. They had the cost management. They had looked at the worst case scenario. If you look at one example, I know of a company that produces chicken. They were selling processed chicken, a kilo of chicken, something in the range of 300 to 400. The live birds are sold at about 120 to 150 rupees. They went in, so the live birds were bought at 300 plus. Stopped processing, so the plant got a well-deserving break. Birds were sold at 300 or 325 or 350. I'm just giving you one example. I do not want to name companies. But how did they do it? They just stepped up to the situation. So when the doors are there to be opened, you go and do it. Continuously bring about the business process re-engineering. They did not really have to do it. They were prepared to do it, so they went and did it. The exact topic that we want to get at today is about making your company agile. Create a total performance management culture. What is total performance management? It's about every individual who is engaged in your business, every process that is deployed in your business, every activity that's taking place in your business is for the final results. So every little bit contributing. This may not be the exact definition what performance management gives in the academic scenario, but total performance management for me is about every little thing in the organization contributing towards its success. Recognize the need for multiple approaches. What do we mean here? Recognize the need for multiple approaches in the sense, for your marketing to be done, there could be always more than one way. There are different channels, so the channels work in different ways. But even in those channels, there are the best practice scenarios. You could look at different scenarios. You could look at different channels. The best example is what happened around the distribution channels in this country over the last 4 months. There were unprecedented amount of distribution channels that came up and did well. Some of them are existing, some of them have died down, but always there are different and multiple approaches. It could be for marketing, it could be for production, it could even be for processes, it could be for purchasing, supply chain, anything. And also, if you want to make your company agile, you need to ensure that you entertain feedback. Entertain feedback from your own staff, your team members, your customers. The customer feedback we know is the best. And you would have a scenario where you could also engage the public feedback about your business. You could have your own personal feedback about your thing. Be independent and analyze and see whether your company is running. And you could have your competitors' feedback as well. Their feedback will not come direct at you. It will come in different forms. But if you are running your market intelligence programs, you would see how their feedback about your company is. If you are successful, they want to follow you. If you're successful, they want to ensure that you go down. There are enough scenarios that your competitors will look at giving you feedback. They don't intend to give you the feedback. If you look around, you can entertain that feedback. Educate your people. Not only educate your people, coach them. Train, coach, educate, make them well understanding the process, the project, the business, the profits that you arrive, all that. You would say, why do we have to make them understand about the product, the profits? No, you need to understand that. They will only work if you are transparent. If you're transparent. And enable them while you're entertaining their feedback, educating, coaching, enable them, strengthen them, and empower your people. If you want to make your company agile, empower your people. How do you empower? With responsibility as well as accountability. People have to be accountable. And in the organization, and also with your clients, with your supply chain, seek support when you need. Sometimes you think seeking for support is not required. It is required. People who work with you, the stakeholders, are quite there to provide you the feedback and to support if you need, since you've been good. And once when you have your strategy, now agility does not come just out of the sky. It doesn't fall from the sky. It comes only when you have a good strategy deployed. You execute your strategy, keep monitoring it. It's important. Most importantly, keep reviewing. It could be on a daily basis, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, annually. You need to have a proper review set, and that should be in place. And again, I would like to re-emphasize, it has to be a continuous learning organization. When your organization is into the continuous learning scenario, it gets into what is called innovation. Innovation does not necessarily mean that you bring in a total different business model, you bring in a total different product line. It's just about doing little innovations in the process that you do. Your product may be innovated by a tiny bit, maybe a 1% change can make it 10%, different. Your processes, cutting down one process to get to the customer service scenario could speed up your process of meeting customer demand. Your supply chain, one process which was not required, but you were just controlling unnecessarily, could facilitate the just-in-time management process. So therefore, all the companies that we know of got the agility only by trying to be agile, but they don't try to be agile. Their agility comes through what is called having the right strategy, having the right management practices, keeping it lean and mean, managing your cost structure, and so on and so forth. We've taken about 22 to 24 minutes describing it, but essentially the take home for you, those who participate in this, thank you very much for that. And through LCG, the Lanka Consulting Group's platform, the take home should be, we know that the business environment is always challenged. It's a given. It's not because of this, not because of that. It's because of any times scenario that the business environment anyway is challenged. So if you establish a prudent business strategy that enables agility, that's what we try to get at. Then the agility that gives you the flexibility will build what's called the strength. That strength is your weapon to challenge the challenge that come your way. What are we talking of? We need to bring what's called change management practices into your organization. It may be an academic word still around us, but there are so many change management activities you as business leaders, you as managers deploy in your current work context. And it's about your business strategy. It's about business strategy that allows the agility. So therefore, when the business is going good or business is going bad, it's always good to revisit your strategy. What has best worked is best work, but you can take it to the next level if it has really worked. You can, now if you're being challenged, if you're going through hardships, you still need time to revisit. It comes to what is called agile strategic planning. The strategic planning was the way earlier on. Today, the current context needs agile strategic planning. That's the way forward. So if you change your gear to the right perspective, to the right level of running, you can challenge the challenge. So with agile strategic planning, changing your gear, you are able to challenge the challenge. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to Lanka Consulting Group. Anjana, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you again, if you had missed the first half of this webinar program today, you could visit our Facebook page, Lanka Consulting Group Facebook page, because this video will be made available on Facebook as well. So thank you very much, Mr. Nilanga, for taking time off your busy schedule to share your experience and know-how with all of our viewers today. And viewers, if you wish to consult Mr. Nilanga for more information and clarification, now you could visit our website, www.lankaconsultinggroup.com, and book a session with Mr. Nilanga to get more advice from him. And so before winding up, I would like to thank all of our viewers who joined us today. And thank you very much for all the enthusiasm that you showed on this program. And so, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned with us because we'll be bringing you more webinar programs like this in future. So till then, goodbye from all of us. Thank you.